Hello again, and I will be reviewing yet another demo of Fraac from the team DMM. I have no idea what that stands for, and also probably going to give away some more American secrets. But there we have it. So we're here on Snakewater. Gonna do our first mid. I do approve of the facial hair. And my camera work is going to be pretty ugly here, but we're just going to make it work. Yeah, so you don't have both your soldiers equalize. So, little too excited about those unlocks. We may reset and watch that since I was distracted horribly by that. You got kind of far forward there, Fraac. But yeah, that's the end of the mid. And ideally, in that sort of situation where you're losing there, Lena and Belly would have just suicided for their mid, because you're not going to ever hold second. You did get their demo, so that's good. You can apply as much pressure as you like, and they're kind of filing into you one by one, which is good for you. You need to not be worried about killing the people, and you need to be worried about getting their Uber out. So the reason that they failed so badly there is because they just went in one by one instead of pushing as a group. Now, they did make a terrible mistake. However, you guys aren't applying any pressure to this point, and they still have Uber on you. So we'll see what they decide to do with that. Yeah, and you die. So, and they've still got that Uber. You guys have done absolutely nothing to stop them with that. You finally forced. That should have happened a very long time ago. The medic flashes Uber on everybody on the point so they can't cap it, so that's helpful to you also. Again, really, I mean, there's nothing you can do here. Just trying to get back to last would be your best bet. It's also a shame that you have 2 scouts on this last. You really ought to consider heavy. I would say engineer as well, but you don't really have enough time because they have Uber advantage, so they should push on you as soon as they get it. Yeah, this is a pretty typical Snakewater hold, so I don't really have anything to comment about that. Other than the fact that you shouldn't have 2 scouts. They should be pushing. They're going, alright. They let you get the Uber. Your point is stickied up, but it looks like they're going to do a fail push. You guys need to be pushing out right now. Yep, so they're wiped. You should get second. Easy peasy.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Your scout's doing a good job capping the point. Your demo's doing a really good job of locking them out. Yep, so now they're still 2 down. They still don't even have a medic, so this should pretty much spell the end of mid for them. The only thing that I would say here is that you need to not dilly-dally here because there's a window and they will drop down on top of you and kill you. Advice for your med. Oh, you guys, you sat here and didn't do anything. You need to jump forward so that they can't justify killing your medic. Because you had a definite advantage there, and now you're going to lose the farm. Okay, so we'll go look at what you guys are doing on second. Building with the basher coming up. You guys need to hold this pretty meekly because they have Uber advantage on you. So your objective here should be to drop or pop the med and and kite the Uber long enough that you can come back, potentially come back in with your own Uber. Again, a pretty typical hold. I don't like this format that you have with your med because it's a little, like, if they come up over here and push in this way, you could be cut off. Okay, you lose your med, but you do get the pop out. You popped Uber for no reason. You guys should have been backing up in an effort to kite their Uber. I can understand popping there if you were losing a bunch of people, but you guys didn't make any effort to, like, move out of their way. Because what's going to happen is they're going to get all grouped up, people are going to pursue you, and then you kill them. Yeah, there was no hope for you there. This is a really bad spot for a med to be in. I pretty much don't... we call this China in America, and I really don't like to have anybody there, really. Unless they're a sniper. I'm not really a particular fan of sniper anyways. Oh, and you know that they have a spy because of that kill, so... Yeah, I see what you're doing here. You're running crits now. Not a terrible choice, I would say. It's a little risky, especially because they do have an Uber advantage on you, and you're not going to surpass them with the crits. You did get their spy, though, so you can move into a more typical position. We'll see if you guys do a good job. Excuse me, of cycling sides. Because the way you're going to have to use this crits is either surprise them in lobby with it, which really won't work because they've got Uber. Or try and cycle sides, come out the other way and crits them. Okay, so now you got their demo, that's good. Nobody dies, that soldier gets skyboxed. Is he going to get air shot? No. You still managed to die, so that's a little bit of a movement failure on your part. They're all wiped, you should go. That demo's a respawner. You all push out the same door, though.
The control point is being captured.
But it doesn't look like you're going to get punished for it. You can't... unless you had eyeballs on that demo, which you may have, you can't all go that way. So you guys have Uber advantage, you don't have a demo, and you lost your scout for no reason. Again, it's the same thing as like the gully wash. You were all chilling out back here, and you had a scout like all the way up here. So it's just a question of awareness on his or her part that they don't have a team with them. They're going to push off of that pick, though, and you haven't been building your Uber very well, because you had a 10% advantage there at one point, and now it's gone. Unless they switch to crits, which they didn't do. Yeah, so what ought to have been a situation where you guys could have pushed mid has turned into losing second. Yeah, this won't go well for you guys. You may get the Uber to save the day, though. Yep. You seem to have lost your soldier there. So that's very unfortunate, but they're just sticking around with this. You want to try and do a better job in that situation there, particularly, I caught it on camera, of keeping a player between you and that scout. Because if he hadn't have been as silly as he was, he should have killed you.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Now, see, you got some people pushing out and some people not pushing out, and that's not a good way to do things. You had 2 people push out and 3 stay behind. Like, why? You either everyone pushes out or nobody pushes out. Also, you're still not running any off classes, and that's a shame. There ought to be a Hoovy man right here, just surveying the battlefield. I actually really don't like this hold position either. The best spot for you to be is like right here, where my camera is now. That's the best spot. That was a good trap. Got everybody all thrown around. They're not doing a good job of pressuring the point, so even though they've got a temporary advantage, I don't think it's going to do anything for them. Keep players between you and that scout. If anything, hide inside their bodies.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
So you guys need to be pushing.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
This soldier needs to have heard that fighting and needs to get aggressive. Yeah, there you go.
Time has been added.
Okay, they're 2 down, one of which is their demo, which means you should push. You need people to be with you, though. Now you're gonna get killed. That scout's not very... he should have run out of the window and killed you. And you wouldn't have had anybody to protect you. Your team needs to do a better job of calling where you are, so that could be on you, really. And make sure that the demo, the pocket, and at least one scout in these transition sort of fights know to go where you are. You guys are doing a good job of locking out. You've got Uber still, but you're not going to be able to use it. Yeah. You were too lit to push forward there, and the Uber advantages were such that you couldn't have pushed. You couldn't push because of your health disadvantage, and because the Ubers were equal. So you guys, you were doing the right thing, which was keeping them off the point and keeping them away, away from the doors. But then you turned it into 3 people dying, and one of which was a dropped Uber. And that's, there was no reason for that. You want to envision each area of the map as being its own little island, sort of. And if they're leaving the island, you keep them out by sitting up on the doors, like this or like this. And then you don't chase them any further unless it's a medic who's by himself. Yeah, see, this is why I don't like holding on China. Because if they were a little bit savvier, or a little bit keener, they'd have just all pushed through here. And then you guys wouldn't be able to get to your own last, and you'd all die. So, you guys had a 2-man advantage, and your flank went in really early, and your combo has not. So now it's evened out, and they've actually got spawn advantage. You guys are going to get stuck here if you don't. Their medic dropped to a pipe, so that's pretty great, but you dropped to a sticky. So you don't want to hang out over here when they're pushing this way. That's just not a good position to be in.
Doc, come on, man.
The other thing I would say that you guys need to do when you have people alive is you need to place special emphasis that damage dealt when no one is around to help you really doesn't do anything. That soldier was over here and he got really good damage, and everybody else was back here. Had anyone else been up there with him, you'd have a man advantage now because that guy would have died. So you trade roamers, essentially. Follow this scout around. Yeah, there was no one there to help him or keep him out. You can't have... If your scout's going to be back here building and you're already down your roamer, that scout can't be doing that anymore. After you traded roamers, you should have backed up and quit. Or you sent in your other scout to make sure he could get out. And again, you've got this scout really far forward fighting people with no help while everyone else is shooting at other things. You can't do that. You guys had Uber advantage, but the situation was such that you can't use it, and now it's going to even out. And you lose more scouts. Your other scouts good as dead as well.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
You got an Uber exchange here, but you're losing it, and you give up an Uber saw, so you're really not... Okay, good. You got the med that needed to be done, and the fight goes well. See, when you're together, life is okay. You got a little too afraid of that demo, but it's okay. Where did you go? I was a little too far back. You seem to be completely unaware of the fact that there were so many of your teammates there. And as such, it's cost you Uber advantage in the order of about 25%, maybe 30%. Now, in that mistake there may not punish you that much, because they probably think that you've got massive advantage. And if they're smart, they won't be that aggressive. Oh, we got that trap there again. You guys are playing pretty far back, though. So yeah, they ended up with well over 30 advantage. Oh wow, they switched crits, that's why. Your demo's dead. And again, there are people here fighting and you're not with them. Nobody's with them. It's 2 on 4 for no reason. I understand scattering in the face of a crits, but you guys just don't seem to be aware of where people are. Now you have Uber, so life is okay as long as you stay together. Everybody can be healed. That scout needs to get healed. Stay together as a unit. You have Uber, you are invincible. Well, you will be. Okay, you pop because of the sniper. Understandable enough. That should be enough to force them out, as long as this... Okay, good. Now you'll have a team. They'll still be 2 down. Because of the spawn timer, as you see, it's like 10 seconds. You should push right now. They're 2 down. And one of them's a sniper, so he's practically worthless. So they're essentially 3... They were 3 down for that whole portion of time. And you guys chose to not do anything. Well, also, they may have crits. No, they're just going to try and push out on you. You're far enough back that this should prove to be pretty difficult for them. Your soldier jumped away from you, so that's his fault. He can't jump away from you, but you should end up getting last, yeah. That's what you can't really push out in situations like that, but yeah, your soldier cannot jump in that situation. Alright, so let's see what we get going here. Yeah, see, now you want to heal that soldier. There you go. He's a little too giddy to get out there. He should have 250 health when he arrives. He did one too many rocket jumps. So your first person to die is a scout, but okay, so now you're 2 down. First death was a scout. Life's okay. Their med went down, so you need to just ball up around your medic and everything might turn out. Your demo overextends for no reason. You needed to just stay in a circle around your medic. Yeah. You guys could have won that. It wouldn't have been easy. You could have won that, but you chose not to because your demo decided not to stay around the medic. It's just like Alti Duo, you know, the 2v2 format where it's a soldier and a med versus soldier and a med on a Koth map. How often does the soldier that doesn't have a med beat the soldier that has a med? It's not very often. And that's the principle that you should have applied there. Their medic was dead. Everyone should have just formed a little protective bubble around you and then pushed forward in a big group. And they could not have possibly killed you. So it's a reset for all intents and purposes. I would really strongly suggest that your combo not wait down here for anything, because there's a window here, they'll drop down on you and kill you. So if you're going to push through this area, you need to do it quick. So, okay, you're just going to back up. Now, it seems like some people haven't gotten the memo about you guys backing up. Okay, so you got one scout who's forward, he's going to try to pop them, I presume. And you drop your roamer, so you really can't afford to do pops anymore. Now you've got Uber, so you should be moving forward. Your combo should be moving forward. Oh, they did die in a trap. So you got a bunch of people forward who get killed in an Uber, and then your demo's probably gonna die too. Nope. Okay, so this is a easy peasy mid push. You shouldn't even have to worry about popping your Uber. There's a soldier above you. Nobody checks, despite the fact that you could hear it pretty clearly that he had jumped. Your demo's a little too far forward with no help, so he dies for no reason. You just bail out. They've had quite enough of that. You should add a little more confidence in your team there, but it turns out okay. You guys should easily get second. I wouldn't worry about building that Uber. Now they're going to have Uber to contest, so you need to force this point really aggressively with like people capping it. Okay, good. So you're ready for a last? I would suicide in somebody right now, or maybe 3 somebodies once you get Uber, and have, get Sniper, Pyro, Spy, whatever you want, ready to go. And you got a pick, and you got the pop too, so excellent. That went about as well as it possibly could have. You're losing people because they're alone. So you essentially suicide 3 people and get the pop out, so that's good. That soldier's by himself. Now you're staying in a group on the point. Everything's okay. And that scout's okay. They gave you another pick. They don't have a demo. You should push. Everything will be okay. Now they don't have Uber, so you shouldn't be solo Ubering. No, no, no. See, none of these people had to die in that. You should have had the pocket and the demo at the very least coming through with Uber. Maybe a scout too. I'd have brought a scout too, but or heavy. So your roamer's still getting there with about 42 few health, because as soon as he jumps, see, he's not gonna do anything. A scout is your first death. I have a little saying that if a scout is the first person to die on mid, he's purposefully throwing the game. So he should try not to do that. You're still gonna win, so it's okay, but it's really, really, really bad if your scout is the first person to die at mid. Everybody's medic died, so you guys maybe could get second here. How are they holding it? Yeah, it's fine. You just need to put time on the point. See, this scout shouldn't be pushing up into here. No, 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 Mr. Scout. You have a job called capping the point. But you died instead. And now you're not going to get second. See, if you had that scout on the point instead of running in there and suiciding against 4 people, you'd have capped the point. They couldn't have pushed out. You would not be in danger. You would not be losing mid because you don't have a demo. So what ought to have been you guys pushing last has become you guys holding your second because the scout overextended.
Time has been added.
I'll try and go through the hold because they probably won't push. Here's how I like to hold. You got your pocket here, your demo here, ground, with your med here. You have a scout right here. You have your roamer right here. I don't even care about this. You drop 2 crits, that happens. And then you have your other scout running around here, jumping on the shack, jumping here, jumping on the shack. And that's how you ought to hold, unless you know they have massive Uber advantage. Then you want to have your pocket here, your med here, your demo here, your roamer still up here, and then your scouts both running around down here. Okay, so they got around. We'll watch rollouts again. We'll watch what your scout that always dies does at mid. There we go. Okay, so he's going upper. Your roamer still does... He needs 250. I can't stress that enough. Now he should be backing up. He shouldn't take this 1v1. He should back up, and he craters himself. Once he went down to about 90 with that scout, his job was done, and he should have backed up and gotten healed. Because the way you want to run Snakewater is essentially you want to bomb both your soldiers immediately onto them. You have 1 scout kind of watch upper, 1 scout kind of watch lower for the demo, and then once your soldiers get over uncontested because that scout up here was distracted, he drops down, gets healed, the other scout gets healed, they run forward, demo walks forward across the point, everybody dies, you win mid. Okay, you guys will get mid back because a whole bunch of them just died. They do have Uber advantage on you, so I would see your scouts doing that thing where he's not capping the point. It's not his job to push up, it's the soldier and the demo's job to push up. There, he got back on the point, so that's... They pop crits on you, that's bad. You guys get separated, yeah. You want to talk about maps, maybe in, you know, the time before the scrim starts when you're doing all the DM and stuff. Just talk about each point and which doorway you want to exit so that your pocket knows not to walk straight back if your intention is always to go this way, and vice versa. So you guys aren't going to be able to hold second. You can contest it a tiny bit. Alright, it's time to start bailing out of here. Whoops. Your demo's gonna die. He stayed there too long. Now they can push on you because there are no traps anywhere, and they ought to be pushing right now. And that they are. You die in the crits. Good shot on their demo's part. Yeah, you guys were hopeless as soon as your demo died. So I'm going to watch this from your perspective. Demo's doing the regular rollout. Heal scouts, heal scouts, heal the roamer. Roamer's going to have no health at mid. Yeah, 200 is just not enough. And he does a double jump, and your scout is the first person to die at mid again. You can't do that. The first person to die at mid should always be their or your roamer. You can't have scouts dying first because they're the most important class on the mid fight next to the demo man.
Control point is being captured.
Now their med died, so I don't necessarily agree with the sniper off class because you don't need picks. You guys actually have advantage, and you're not really going to be able to do anything with any of the picks you get. I do like that you've pulled out the engineer and the heavy though, because you're gonna have at least a minute before they show up. They decided to just push right in and get absolutely obliterated. So now you can push out freely. Your heavy should switch off. No. There are two. Why is everybody sitting around? Oh, the time's over. Okay, sorry. European rules. Okay, so I'll go over some stuff. Let's see. Demo is over. Okay, so that was to save the time. And as a new interesting twist for my little finish time, I'm just gonna throw out an old STV that I've got, and I'm gonna leave it on Enigma probably for the time being. But anyhow, so things you can improve on. Team needs to be a little bit more aware of where people are and what they're doing. Your dodging is often sacrificial in that you need to get into the idea of keeping people between you and who's attacking you, as opposed to just getting away. You also seem to be pretty unaware of what the numbers situation is in the local area. You guys did a better job of pushing up after capping points than in the previous demo that I saw. However, you ended up with a lot of situations where people got too aggressive as a result of that. You just can't afford to chase people into their chunk of the map. That's just not something that you can do very effectively unless you're way better than the other team. I'd also criticize your lack of use of off classes. And also, if you're holding last and you want to push out, you really, really need to all push out and not just have like 2 people try to do it. And your team, I would suggest not holding in China. I go over the second hold that I like in the movie. So, and that one tends to work pretty well. So, yeah. Other than that, I mean, I think I covered pretty much everything in the video fairly well. So, I hope you found this to be helpful, and feel free to submit more.